A Visitor in Camelot by Joshua Maurice. Once in the year 2003, there was made a discovery. Two groups of guys in long white coats decided to compare their time-traveling notes. All their physics and science combined to create a formula for traveling time. They made a room for you to enter and sit in a chair right in the center. You tell the computer a time and date, and for a minute you sit and wait until the computer starts buzzing and beeping, and into the past your body starts seeping. The first one to try this room of time bending was a man by the name of Jeremy Schmending. He meant to go back about 2.5 days, but the machine's CPU was going through a bad phase. It malfunctioned and Jeremy Schmending was thrown into a world that to him was unknown. He was put in the year 750, and some things he saw he thought were quite nifty. There were dragons and knights and castles and witches and mighty kingdoms with gold and riches. Schmending was stuck here, so King Arthur said that he'd give the time traveler a nice room and bed, and in Camelot he was welcome to stay until the time of his dying day. Jeremy accepted this polite invitation, and this is his adventure in King Arthur's nation. Soon after the day that he found his new home, around the castle Jeremy happened to roam. In one room that he chanced to go by, he heard some sweet words between a girl and a guy. The guy he heard was Lancelot of the Lake, and the woman was whose hand he planned to take in marriage, judging by the way they talked, and thinking this was normal, on he walked. A few doors down the hall, he met Morgan Le Fay, and making conversation, Mr. Schmending did say, "That's a pretty hot couple in the other room. Their flower of love seems to be in full bloom." She answered, "Of love in these halls I know not. The only room down there is Lancelot's." "That's the guy," he said, trying to make idle chat, "and his girlfriend was Guinevere, or something like that." An ear-to-ear grin spread across Morgan's face. She now had a way to shame and disgrace her brother's great kingdom, his fame and his glory. It would all be destroyed when folk heard of this story. So Morgan spread the word, and her son Mordred too, and soon everyone and his brother in Camelot knew. Soon Lancelot heard the fast-spreading rumor, and figured that Arthur would, later or sooner, and he heard about the guy who'd started it all, a foreigner named Schmending, blonde-haired and tall. Next one. Well, that very night, while napping in bed, Schmending was waked by Lancelot, who said, "You tattle, you stoolie, you loose-tongued fool, how could you do something so terribly cruel?" "What?" said Schmending, not knowing what he meant. "Tell me my sin, and I'll surely repent." "You told what's going on between Guinevere and me, and now the word is out. It's even in the Quarterly." "So what?" said Schmending. "You shouldn't be ashamed. In my day having girlfriends was a goal at which we aimed. But she's the queen of all Britain, the wife of King Art. For your ignorance alone I should rip out your heart." Schmending was able to calm down the night and avoid what would have been an unfair fight. And he was so relieved to get him out of his hair that he forgot about the scandalous love affair. The next morning he found that because of his tattling, Arthur and Lancelot had been fiercely battling. There'd been many deaths, and there'd be many more when Mordred's and Arthur's armies made war. Also the Saxons, hearing Arthur's bad luck, had decided that England was a ripe plum to pluck, and watching the horses and weapons and troops, all Jeremy Schmending could think of was oops. The end.